Hi guys, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm talking about the Colourpop Main Squeeze birthday collection. May is their birthday month for Colourpop, and I believe they turned 5 years old. And you know, I'm partial to May since my birthday is in May and I just had a birthday. So this is what the Main Squeeze palette looks like. I thought that this was so cute. And so, of course, they're continuing on with their 9 palette series. This is the unicarton that it comes with. And you know, the 9-pan palettes with Colourpop have been super affordable, super fun, monochromatic. It's a 12-pan palette. I'm just removing this little sticker that I have here. Of course, you get the mirror, and these are the nice, pretty, gorgeous shades right here. And when you first kind of look at this palette, it's like, it's beautiful, but you know, you're like, oh, we've seen all these shades before, but I love the theme, and I have already used this palette before, so I really have been loving this color right here that is called Juicy Fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and do some swatches of the products that I picked up, and then of course I'm going to go ahead and do a look for you. So let's talk about the palette first. We have the Main Squeeze palette. It's a pressed powder palette, and of course there are 9 shades, and it has like this juicy fruit, watermelon vibe, and then on the back you have the colors right here. And of course, like I said, this palette retails for $12, and keeping it with the same standard theme of the 9-pan palettes from Colourpop. And then like I said, this is the unicarton of the palette, and of course Colourpop is cruelty free. This is recyclable, and it is distributed by Colourpop Cosmetics LLC, and of course they're made by right here in the United States of America. And now there are like 3 shades in this palette that I do want to point out that says they are not intended for use in the eye area. More than likely because they're red shades, and if we know anything like red pigments, according to the FDA, they're not safe for the eye area. So you do have to take this with a grain of salt. You can put it on your eyes, but if you have sensitive eyes, just know that it might cause some irritation, or you could definitely probably expect some type of staining with these particular shades. So let me point out the shades that are not intended for the eye. We have Home Slice right here, which is more like a satin red shade. Then we have Maraschino right here, like a maraschino cherry. And then the third shade is called Like It's Hot, and that is this shade right here. Now, I do believe, no, I did not use any of the shades yet. Well, maybe. I think I did use a little bit of Like It's Hot when I played with this palette the first time, and I didn't have any issues with it. So just something to keep in mind. If you have sensitive eyes, just be careful. Okay? And then I got the Out of Your Rind Lip Bundle, and these retail for $12, and you get a ultra glossy lip and an ultra matte lip. So I was like, oh, they're super cute. And I'm not buying a lot of lipsticks this year, but this like really caught my attention. And so the shade that is in my bundle is called Scorcher, which is the ultra glossy lip, and then On the Grill, which is the ultra matte lip. And then the packaging on this is super cute, just going in with the theme. You know, Colourpop can get a theme going for sure. And then these are what the 2 colors are. And I'm going to swatch everything a little bit later for you. Then the third thing, and I actually got this for free. And I was like, yes! Because, you know, I spend enough money with Colourpop. Even though they're super affordable, like, you can give me something free. I like that. So this is a Super Shock Shadow, and it's called Birthday Treat. And this does also say that it's not for the eye area. So, you know, you kind of have to, like, you know, tread at your own risk. You know, if you got sensitive eyes, But this color is super pretty right here. And just go ahead and give you a close up of that color. So let's go ahead and start swatching some things, and then we're going to jump into the demo. And then I'll wrap up with some final thoughts, okay? So let's go ahead and swatch the Birthday Treat first. This is the Super Shock Shadow. And normally, you know, the Super Shock Shadows retail for $5. And this color is super beautiful. I'll show it on my finger first so you can kind of see the reflex that it has. So this is Birthday Treat. Very pretty. It definitely has some silver and some red glitters, and it's a light pink shade with hints of red. I think it is very, very pretty. And the next thing I'm going to go in with the swatches, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the palette. Okay, the first row of the palette we have Froze, which is like a matte corally watermelon color. The second shade we have is Juicy Fruit. This color is so beautiful. Definitely has some red duochrome shift to it. And then the third shade we have is Home Slice. And this is more like a red satin. Going in with the second row, we have Like It's Hot. And this is one of the shades that said also that is not intended for the eye use. Definitely a bright red. Then the third shade we have, then the next shade we have is Maraschino. I think this is so pretty. Goodness. And then the next shade in the second row is called Big Gulp. And this is a shade that also says it's not approved for the eye. Going in with the last row, we have Seed Money. We'll do another swatch of that one. That one seems a little sheer when you first watch it. The next shade we have is Baywatch. We'll have to see how that applies. Baywatch is also beautiful. And then the last shade we have is Red Bottoms, which is so pretty. So these are the swatches of the palette. And then at the top, of course, we have the Super Shot Shadow, which is Birthday Treat. Okay, so let's go ahead and swatch the Ultra Matte Lip I have on the grill right here. This is definitely like a pinky raspberry tone, and that's why I picked it up. So I have so many true reds, but this one was like a little different to my collection. So this is on the grill. And then for the Ultra Glossy Lip, we have Sculpture right next to it. Probably a little hard to see all the glitter reflects in this one. But that is Scorcher, and definitely has red and purple and some green reflex in there. It's super, super pretty. And this is like a close-up of the bottle, just so you can kind of see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this look. My eyebrows are filled in using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in the shade Caramel. And then my eyelids are set with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine. And I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and tap just a tiny bit of that creasing out right there. And I'm gonna go in and I'm going to start with, as you know, I'm over here dropping stuff. You know how that works, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my Wayne Goss, and this is a number 16 brush. It is clean. It's starting to stain. That's the only thing about these white bristles. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Big Gulp. And then I think I want to go ahead and try this shade called Seed Money because it didn't swatch very well, but I want to see how, you know, it performs in real life. But, you know, swatches do not always indicate performance. So, of course, this shade Big Gulp is really pigmented. Was this one of the shades? Yes. No, this was not one of the shades that said it wasn't safe for your eyes. Okay, I'm just blending that back and forth in the transition area. And I really like how this tone looks. It's so pretty. Now I'm gonna change brushes and I'm gonna go in with Wayne Goss number 17, and I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Seed Money. And I'm just going to fill it in there in that little gap of area. And so far this shade is building up okay. I would say it is a tiny bit patchy. It's not horrible, but I think it is just a little patchy. Continuing on with the shade Seed Money with the Wayne 17. It is a little patchy, but it does blend out okay. I mean, it's not terrible, but it did apply a little choppy. But I just want to try to intensify it so I can get a little bit more color payoff. There we go. Because everything was just like blending into each other and you couldn't really see any type of different colors. Everything was just looking like the same. It didn't look bad. It was just looking like, oh, that's one color. Okay, so seed money does build up. But I think you definitely, this is definitely a color you have to build up and maybe take a little bit of time with. It's not a terrible color. It just, I don't know, it needs a tiny bit of help. So I went in about 3 times to get it to this particular intensity. Going in with my Sonia G, this is the Worker Pro. I'm going in with this pretty shade called Red Bottoms. You know, like the red bottom shoes, honey. Whew, but them things hurt. Okay, and I'm just gonna tap this on the inner corner. Give us some depth here. This shade is actually pretty easy to work with. It builds up very nicely. This is my second time using this shade. And I'm just gonna bring that up right here. Into my crease area. Just to create that definition. Going in with a Wayne number 4. And I'm just gonna blend that out right there. And take it over a little bit. So we did just amp this look up. It definitely got a little vampy. That's okay. I'm just going to blend it over just a little bit into the actual crease. Now taking my little Tarte brush, it's a synthetic brush. I love this brush for shimmer, so I mean any little brush like this will do. Going in with the shade called Maraschino. That shade is so pretty and I haven't had a chance to play with it. The other day when I wore the palette, I used the shade Juicy Fruit right here, and then like Big Gulp, and then Red Bottoms. So this is what it looks like on the brush. Definitely hot red. And Maraschino is one of those shades they say you do have to be careful with. Ooh, yes, pretty. I'm just gonna build it up. Yeah, and the reason why for these shades, you know, this is a red palette, a red based or a red theme palette, and red pigments usually to formulate them, you have to use those pigments, and they definitely can stain the eye. So that's why they always have to mark them. Or the FDA with the Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act makes them just state that, you know, you have to use these kind of at your own risk. Ooh, I'm liking how that looks. Okay, now taking my brush, I just flipped it over, cleaned it off on a little wet, on a little dry washcloth that I use for my makeup. I'm going in with the shade Juicy Fruit. I'm gonna pop that in the inner corner. The shade is so beautiful, and it has like a duochrome flip. And I'm just like taking it up right here and over. So it's nice and bold, kind of highlighting the frame of our eye. And I did take it a little bit up here into the other crease area. I normally don't do that, but you know, sometimes it's good to try different things. Going in with like a MAC, kind of like 224 shade, going in with like a MAC 224 brush. This is from like another little set, came out years ago. I was like, I found it. I was like, oh, I was cleaning this up. I'm just gonna kind of clean up this blending right here. I'm loving this shade Juicy Fruit with Maraschino. It's so pretty. And I do have a little bit of fallout. I just want to note that. And then because I just want to be extra, I'm going to go in with the birthday treat. This is so pretty. I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to tap it like right here. Just kind of across the bottom part of the lid. Just gives it a little extra oomph. Look at that. That really just gave that shade some life. Even though it already had life, it just does something for it. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and this is the final look for the eyes. Oh my gosh. I'm in love. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so the details for my makeup on my face, as far as my blush and bronzer and stuff, that will be down below. But I want to point out something really quick to you guys. So if you guys haven't seen my video on Moxie Lash, make sure you check it out. I'll try to put it in the cards. So I've been using the Moxie Lash, really been loving it. So with the Moxie Lash, there are like 3 sizes or 3 lash styles, and I think they just came out for the 4th one, which is more like a half lash style. But they have one that's called the Classy Lash, but it's super little. It's cute, but it's very like a everyday lash. And then they have Flashy and Sassy Lash. Say that 3 times fast. But those are very dramatic. And I was like, I just need something in the middle. So I was in Ulta the other day, went to go get a birthday gift for my friend. And so I have the Moxie Lash liner on. But, you know, everybody's on this magnetic lash face. So Kiss has some, but they're the old school magnetic lashes. Let me grab it. So these are like $10. This is the box, what it looks like if it can focus, because it's so bright and metallic, the box itself. So this is the magnetic lash, and honestly, you're supposed to, I think, they have a bottom pair and a top pair, and you know, you're supposed to clamp them together like the old school, and it comes with an applicator. But I just have the top pair on top of the Moxie Lash liner. And I think this is so pretty because it's just enough. Like, it's just enough drama. Not too much, not too little. And that's what I was looking for. And these were like $10. So I technically get like 2 pairs. So I could like rock this pair because it's a little bit different on the bottom. And then on the top, it's a little bit different. I'm just like, yep, this is what I was looking for. So if you guys haven't checked it out, so you could definitely use this Moxie Lash liner with other magnetic lashes. I think as far as the magnetic liner, Moxie Lash has the best one. I'll say that for another video, but I just really wanted to share that with you guys, okay? So, before I probably end up putting on like a nude lipstick, because I don't know if these super raspberry shades are gonna go with my eye look. And another thing is I have a lot of red in my complexion. I have on red eyeshadow, put on like some red lipstick or red based. I might just look too red in here, you know what I mean? So, but I wanted to swatch them out for you guys on my lips so you know what they actually look like. And so this is the shade, remember it was On the Grill. Super raspberry shade. I think it's super fun. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that, and so you guys can see what it looks like, and then I'll put the gloss over, okay? Okay, so this is the shade On the Grill. I think it is beautiful. Actually, it does not look bad. I stand corrected. Do I look like a red blurb? It's like my skin getting red. No, it's not. Okay, so as you may or may have not have known, they have changed the formula of the Ultra Matte Lip. So it felt a little stickier applying it. It doesn't feel sticky on the lips, but it's definitely not as dry. So, you know, the Ultra Matte lips, they don't bother me. I really actually prefer them a lot of times sometimes because, like I said, I work and I talk all day long. And last thing I need to do is like wear a color and it's just like everywhere. So especially with like a lot of brighter shades, I actually prefer a matte shade because it's not going to move. You know, a cream shade, it'll be everywhere when it's bright. Here, there. So I actually like, but I think this is pretty. Very pretty. And Yeah, it's dry. I'm not sure about the whole wear time of the new formula, but I'm going to come back. I guys owe you so many reviews, but so far I'm really liking this color. Let's try to throw a little bit of gloss over. I was like really nervous with this color with this eye setup, but I think it's working. And then I got this salmon shirt on, so you know, we're here. It's summertime. Chicago, you know, it's doing its own thing. It was really nice yesterday. Today it's like kind of rainy, and back in the 60s it was like almost 80 yesterday, you know. Bipolar. I'm just gonna dabble. Now I would say my only complaint about the ultra glossy lip, like the applicator, is super stiff on them. I do not prefer. I wish I had a doe foot instead of this brush, but ooh, with the gloss is pretty. Okay, so this is the final look. Ooh, ooh, I like it. Ooh, ooh. This palette is cute. I just love when I like a palette. Oh, it makes me happy in here, okay? So this is the final look. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up with some final thoughts about this main squeeze palette and, you know, the Birthday Super Shock Shadow. So, of course, I like it. You know, Colourpop, like I said, I don't know how they do it, but I just love it. So, this palette is so pretty. I think it is very pretty and suitable for women of color, people who have deeper skin complexions. These colors are definitely going to pop on you, especially the mattes. They're all pigmented. So basically I've used everything except for the Home Slice, and I have not used Baywatch. But it's just between me using it on camera and off camera, I have touched all the shades except for those two. So I'm really loving Juicy Fruit and Maraschino Cherry. I think these shimmers, they look very lackluster when you look at them in pictures and pay them, but they're definitely take on a life of its own when you put them on your eyes. So I'm really, really loving those. The mattes are fabulous. I think one of my favorite mattes is the Red Bottom shade. I just love that deep red burgundy color. It's not quite burgundy. It has a lot of red in it. So I think it's definitely a color like you can transition this into fall. I keep pulling it on my mirror so I can see, but I'm really loving the palette. I think the 9-pan palettes are like a big hit because of the affordability. I think they're great accent palettes, you know what I mean? So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get like a color scheme like, oh, you've been looking at it. Because let's face it, like even if you buy like 1 or 2 blue single shadows or 1 or 2 red single shadows, you're at $12 where you can get a whole pan for $9 with a nice mirror in here, just like to accent your collection. So I'm very much a big fan of these palettes by Colourpop. You know, for me, like the color concepts are wonderful. The quality does not suffer, which is important. I think that the only shade that was like a little bit like was the shade Seed Money, but it did work out well. You just had to work with it a little bit more. It was a little patchy at first, but once I kept applying a little bit more to get the depth that I wanted out of that shadow, it did pick up nicely and did not look patchy overall once I finished blending. Like I said, I think this is a fabulous palette, like if you're into reds, but it's not a true red palette. Of the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions, and this palette, this is a red palette for sure, okay? So I think like if you're too scared for these, even though some of these shimmers are really, really pretty, that this can actually complement that because it's more of like an orange-based red hot fire coral palette, okay? And you know the corals have been on fire as of lately. So I really digging this. I think it's beautiful. The color scheme is wonderful. I think it's great. You only have that one gold, and even though it's like, it's gold, but it definitely has that shift. Like I said, this is something you do have to be careful. Like you have irritated eyes, you know, maybe this palette might not be for you because there's 3 shades in there that say they're not safe for eyes. So it just depends on how your eyes react. But mine have been fine. I haven't had an issue with it. I think they did a great job with this. So I have no complaints about this Main Squeeze palette. And the packaging is so darn cute, okay? And then the free birthday Super Shock Shadow, so pretty. And it's just like a sheer color. I definitely think you could wear this like on its own with maybe 1 or 2 of the mattes in there and just pop this all over the eyelid like I just did today. It's definitely intense, has a lot of shine to it. It is very pretty. Now I'm still kind of like testing out this new ultra matte liquid lip formulation, but so far it's fine. I mean, I do have the gloss over it, so technically with the gloss, it's definitely going to shift around a lot more than when it would shift around if I was just, look, in some, Lord, how long has it been on my teeth? Okay, well, so that's the thing, and this is why I'm not really like a gloss and a lipstick person, because it makes it move around too much, and I can't. And I feel like sometimes, like, the more stuff I have on my lips, it makes my lips more cakey, and it causes them to like peel. Like, case in point, I don't know, like makeup artists, when they do your makeup, like professional makeup artists, they love to do like a 3-4 lip combo on you. And you're like, no, because it makes my lips cakey and it makes it shed. So I like the gloss by itself. I like the lipstick by itself. I think the color is very nice, and I think it's definitely not as drying as the Ultra Mattes have been in the past. So, and that's actually pretty nice because of this particular shade. Now, I feel like it was a little bit like the application. I could tell the formula had been changed, because usually with the Ultra Matte lips, they're a little bit more watery but full of pigment, but this one was like a little bit stickier. So it kind of had like that satin Ultra Matte finish or feel to it when you were first applying it, but it definitely dries down matte. But like I said, I added on the gloss to it, so you know, with the gloss on top of it, I can just kind of take it or leave it. But overall, I think both of those products are great. So overall, I'm really loving this collection. I think they knocked it out of the park again. You know, I don't know how they do it. I just really don't. But I love this look. I think it's beautiful. And now I have to take it off because I'm about to go babysit a 1-year-old. So clearly, I don't need to be this glammed. But if you like this video, give this video a big thumbs up and hit the notification bell so you know when I do my next upload. And check me out down in the comments, because I will definitely respond back to you. And thank you for watching. And I love just sharing all these makeup experiences with everybody. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.